Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
First carry for Nick Chubb. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is going to be incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Able to spin free. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. what I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, it didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 35 yards there on the third down conversion. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play. Holding him to no gain.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
They run. It's Johnson. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. He's going to sling this deep, looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and a big turnover there as his guys are ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. After the interception, here's Rosen. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
No, check, Patriot!
Rosen on 1st and 10. This one complete to Christian Kirk. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On second down, Rosen. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what we call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustment time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mayfield, and that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help, Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They go play action here on first down. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to make a scream soon.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Mayfield now. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. But over the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
And again, it's Mayfield. Incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Mayfield to throw it to the right side and complete to Njoku. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. Gonzalez good on the extra point.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Pretty move. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but
when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The Cardinals on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action. It's Rosen. Trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. So we reach halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Leopard.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
No. Check. Patriot.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Mayfield on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Landry, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now it's Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes. So they will hold on to the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field...
Accelerating, and off he goes. And the Cardinals are in. Touchdown.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe you're like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And the Browns getting set to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock the defense.
Watch him now, Barney! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90!
First down, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. It worked very well there for a first down.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. DeJuan Smoot with the tackle.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll give it to Chubb. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He'll get it up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. J.J. Nelson now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally you would think he'd just take off and run downfield. He was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Screenplay, Johnson. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Mayfield looks to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Hugh Jackson rolls the dice, but it doesn't work for him. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Throwing, Mayfield, and incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in the stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. That's Njoku over the middle, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 25, and they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to it after the pick six. Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Mayfield dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Mayfield now. And now here's another interception. He's picked off at his own 47. And this return's going to go backwards about 8 yards, but the interception is good, and they have the football. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing?
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league, totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
The Browns on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, Mayfield. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. An excellent pickup at 34 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Mayfield. Going left side here, and it's complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. In this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Mayfield to throw it, and this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. This will be taken short. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And this is going to be recovered in the end zone. And he's got a Super Bowl touchdown. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. And Charles, in this one...